there, I'm Artsy Gamer 7 and welcome back to another Create Sim here on the channel, and we are back with some more of the Fire Emblem Create Sim, particularly mainly Fire Emblem Engaged, even though eventually there are going to be a few characters that are not engaged characters, but as of right now it's just engaged characters. And as the title, you can tell, we are creating Etie today. I think I'm saying her name right. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the characters that I didn't have on my team for very long. She was on there for like 2 or 3 battles, maybe a little bit longer, but that's about it. But I feel like that may be semi-unpopular opinion, because when searching up the image to be able to put on the side for people who don't know who the character is or haven't played or seen Fire Emblem, there was a lot of fan art of her, so I may be in the minority here, but there was more characters that I liked more than her, so she got booted out of my battle team pretty quickly. But anyway, now, like the last video, I am going to start to, have a point to where I'm like, hey, if you don't want to have the volume on, you can mute and just watch the video so that you don't have any spoilers, but I will let you know when that point goes. But I will say, as far as just the general Create Sim, even though she wasn't one of the characters that I got, like, really attached to and, like, really liked and, like, connected to, I do think, as far as the sim goes, she's one of my closest ones to having the feel and the vibe of the character. Like, I was pretty happy with her, in the end. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you share that same feeling? Do you think I got pretty close or not? But, for me personally, I was pretty overall happy with the end result of her, and just like any of the other engaged characters who have a everyday wear that they wear on the Somnol, I do give her 2 different outfits, which you would see the creation of both of those, and the screenshots at the end of the video will include both of those outfits, so you will get to see the creation of both of them. But yeah, those of you who are going to want to mute so that you don't get any spoilers, I'm about to get to that point, but definitely if you have been enjoying the Fire Emblem CAS series and you like this video and you like how Etie has turned out, definitely make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that lovely YouTube goodiness. At this point, if you want to go ahead and mute, do so that you don't have any spoilers. Though I admit, I don't know if I have as many spoilers about her, because like I said, she wasn't on my team as much, so I didn't get to know this character as well as I got to know some of the other characters. But, yeah, here we go. Anyway, I should have babbled on for long enough for anyone who wanted to mute. Should have had a chance to actually be able to mute, because I know some people, you're on your phones or you're in a situation where you're not fully connected to, and you're just watching, so should have gave time for people to mute. But Etie is someone that you come across very, very early in the game. She is from the Kingdom of Firene, so along with Celine, who I've already made, she is one of the, I forget what they're called. I think I did this like in one of the last videos too. Like something like a retainer, a bodyguard, or whatever, to the prince, the crown prince of Firene. Alfred? What is? Alfred! Yeah, that's his name. I have my little collector's book. I just had to flip the page once, but that's pretty bad that I forgot exactly how to pronounce his name, because he's actually one of the people who did stay on my team. But yeah, anyway, so Etie is very, she sort of has a girly vibe to her, but she does love fitness. She constantly talks about working out and keeping fit and trying to be stronger than she currently is and stronger than others. So in some ways I did like that about her, because she still had that girly vibe and that very feminine vibe, but she also was very muscular and very strong, very tough. So it was nice to have like a mixture of both of those characteristics together in one character. And it does seem like a lot of people do like Etie. Again, just from what fan art I was seeing, unless there's like a few select people that are making a bunch of fan art of the one character, but which I mean could be possible, who knows. But yeah, as for me, there's just, like I said, there was more characters that I ended up liking. Sometimes she seemed a little too serious about fitness, and maybe that's why I just didn't connect with her, because I am not a very fitness gold person at all. But actually in the Somnol, as you start unlocking things that you can do to either honestly, there eventually got to a point where I stopped doing some of those things. But, like, they would give you benefits, or, you know, you can try to unlock goals and things like that. And there's probably, like, little things that I could have gotten that would have maybe even helped my journey or whatever. But frequently she was over in one area of Somnol where you actually got to do, like, training exercises. And everyone was in, like, these really modern-looking, like, training outfits. It was sort of strange. But she's often there in the Somnol, not always, but very often she's over that way. Because she's often one of the ones that is like, hey, yeah, training. But yeah, you do like push-ups and like sit-ups and things like that over in that area, so you find her there a lot. And I've actually, at this point, since the last video, Lumera, I have actually beat this game finally. So I have seen the ending, and like, I really like it. The ending, it sort of gives you a little end thing. Just like some of the previous, and, you know, you get to know what they did after, sort of what happens after the events that take place in the game. So it was sort of nice. I admit, I can't remember hers right off the top of my head. I can't remember a lot of them off the top of my head, because some of them were going by more faster than I could read. I'm a really slow reader. So, some of them I missed, or I didn't get the whole thing of. I definitely know whatever the ending was. It did have to do something about her, like, training other people, so, like, soldiers, and sort of helping others sort of easily bulk up, and, you know, because she's about that fitness life. Get stronger, get better muscles. That's sort of her whole thing. My cat is currently scratching a pole right now, and it's very distracting. But she's also adorable, so I would forgive her. I also know that it had something to do with flowers, but that's not really saying much, because the whole kingdom of Firene is known for flowers. They're like the kingdom of flowers and plants, and I can't remember the exact wording, but yeah, pretty much every character has, or at least I think almost every character has a symbolism of a flower somewhere on them from Firene, or whatever. Yeah, anyway, so that is honestly and sadly the most I really can remember of Etie. I did have some, like, some conversations with some of the characters where you can gain their support up and things like that, but because I stopped using her, it was rarely that I got to see those connections. It usually was from, like, if I would do one of the things I did constantly do is where you can go into, like, I forgot what it's called, but it's like, it's next to where the little food area is, and it's also connected to, like, a hallway close to where the shops are at, and it's like an arena sort of, like, thing, but you're in this really weird looking space, and there's, like, water on the ground, but you can train, and, like, two of your, people will sort of train against each other and spar. And if she would happen to be the random second person, that was usually how her supports got built up after a while. So, and I would watch them, but I admit I paid more attention to the characters of the ones that were on my actual team, like the ones that I ended with. So, maybe if I replay this, I'll try to keep some of the characters in that I didn't in the first few times, even though it will be a little hard. Because some of the characters I just like so much, so. But I will just have to tell myself, no, let's learn more about the other characters. But yeah, literally the main things I do remember about her, though, is, like, she always was looking for a chance to train and sort of bulk up her muscles. Like, what can she eat to help her gain muscles? I think I actually do remember one of the interactions, which was with the other retainer with Alfred, where she was asking him how he bulked up so quickly, because she wanted to do it. She's like, what did you eat? What did you drink? Like, what did you do? What is your secret? Because she wants to become muscle lady, but pretty feminine muscle lady. So I did try to keep her, like, I did give her, like, a pretty muscular fit, even though she is a teenager, because I'm pretty sure she actually is a teenager in the game. I think a lot of them are teenager range, like, mid to late teens into the early 20s. Maybe mid-20s. Mid-20s is, like, except for a few of the people, like Vander and, what's her name? Saphira, and then there's the one guy who sort of looks like a pope. They're definitely not in their 20s or 30s. I'm pretty sure they're like 50s, 60s. But anyway, for the most part, most of them are in those teen 20s ranges. So, but definitely with her, I'm pretty sure she's definitely in her teens. So, even though she's in her teens, I still tried to give her some muscle mass, but make it to believable, like, you know, she could still inspire to gain more muscle mass. But the thing is, with most of the outfits I gave her, it covers up a lot of her muscle mass. In her original artwork, her stomach is showing, but none of the clothing that I was coming across really gave the vibe and fit with her color scheme and her vibe that could also show her stomach, because I originally wanted to try to make sure to show her stomach, but it just didn't work out that way. But I did get the bow. I got a bow. There is a bow on her head. I felt like the bow is very important, so she for surely has a bow on her head. But yeah, so this was the creation of Etie. You should be seeing her screenshots fairly soon. I apologize that I can't go into more elaborate detail with her. It doesn't help that sometimes my memory doesn't retain things too well anyway, on top of the fact that I just didn't have her in my party much. So there's a lot of things working against Etie here for retaining in my brain. So, but I did sort of like her character at first. There were so many other strong characters. Like, there was quite a few characters that I wish that I could have had on my team, and I wish I could have got to know better. But it was just, you know, you only eventually can have so many people on the battlefield, and eventually you reach the the limit that it will never go over. So, so you gotta pick and choose. You gotta go a certain way. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you're one of the people that didn't mute, let me know what you think, how she turned out of her two outfits. Do you have a favorite outfit? Did you like Etie? Is there more I should have talked about her that you learned? Definitely let me know, because I don't mind learning more about some of these other characters, and eventually, you know, I might go back and play it. I know eventually at some point my husband's gonna play it, so I'll watch him play it. And maybe he'll keep her on his team. I don't know. I know of one character he's probably gonna keep on his team, no matter what. It was one of the ones I kept on the team, so we're in agreement on that. So, but yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, you know, that lovely YouTube giddiness that I talked about earlier, for those muted folks, feel free to do that as well. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. But until then, bye-bye!